Hello and welcome everyone to Oral Pathology Tuesdays on Oral Pathology 360. I'm Dr. Mandana Donahue and I'm delighted you are here for our professional development session. Today we are talking about a topic that touches every academic, that is publish or perish. How to move from a draft to a published research paper in the right journal. Guiding us is Professor Dr. Pramod John, a widely respected teacher and mentor with over 3 decades of experience. Before we start, a few instructions. First and foremost, if you are on YouTube, make sure you are logged in so you can ask and questions and interact in the chat. If you're watching us from anywhere else where you can definitely watch, but if you want to interact, you need to head to YouTube. And for a clearer picture, tap the settings gear on your YouTube video and switch to a 720p or higher quality of image. And certificates are, of course, available for channel members attending the live session. And you can, in case you are not a member still, you can join by clicking on the join button below the video anytime and you can choose and join. If you are a member or if you're becoming a member, to get a certificate, you need to just watch, actually be here with us, watch the program, comment in the chat, whether you say hello or you leave a question or a comment, basically participate, and then you will find a link to the form for the certificate in the channel posts. It also probably will come to you by email from YouTube. So once you fill that up, by tomorrow, that is within 24 hours, you will get your certificate. And before we go on, we have another announcement. Of course, we are welcoming our new members, Dr. Priyanka Banushali and Dr. Abhishek Mukherjee. We also have some very interesting news, that is, we are celebrating 5 years of Oral Pathology 360. Yes, it has been 5 years. And we have a special anniversary live stream, which will be featuring the faculty open mic finals, which have been going on. This is going to be the finals. And there's also a possibility to add your wishes to what we have created, an anniversary wall. Please go, the link is in the chat. You can go there and leave your thoughts, any picture you may have with us, any suggestions, anything you want to share with us that comes to your mind for our fifth anniversary. Just put it in there. Even if you just put in your signature, your name is great. And we will be sharing this live with everyone during the anniversary session. The link for the YouTube viewing of the live session also right now is on the chat. If you go there and leave a notify me, well, YouTube will notify you so you won't miss it. But definitely, I hope you can, join us for this celebration. And we will also be giving away 3 free entries to our upcoming uh, biopsy techniques masterclass during the celebration. We always give away things during our celebrations. This is no difference. We will be giving away 3 free entries. All right, now let's dive in. Let me bring in also Professor. Oops, where are we? Why, 1 minute, sir. Okay, so yes, sir is here and is impatient to start, but I will just tell you all. Yes, I haven't had a chance to welcome him. Welcome, sir. It's lovely to have you with us. Yes,
Tha-
and welcome. And to tell you all, he is the Director of Research and Professor of Oral Medicine and Radiology at Guru Nanak Institute of Dental Sciences. He has 3 decades of experience. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things that will be there in that lecture. But as you saw, he is all waiting to start, and I don't want to delay him. So let's go on. Hello, everyone. We will get catch up again during the questions.
uh,
Yes,
Thanks,
you can start.
Dr. Mandana. Good evening, friends. Thanks for joining. And I wish it would have been an interactive lecture, but please listen to the presentation first. Later on, you can shoot questions. I'll be happy to answer. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Now, okay. So I am going to tell you something about research and publications. You know that research and publication go hand in hand, because once you have done some research, what you want is you want the entire world to know about it. That I have done a research and these are my findings. Number one. Number two. Now everywhere you hear that publication is a requirement, be it for NAC, be it for Dental Council of India, be it for NIRF, and everywhere, publications matter a lot. I know that all of you are good writers. You can write publications, but for some people it comes handy, but some people need to develop it. So I had put the title as Sharpening the Skills of Paper Writing in Journals, because I will give you some tips so that you can improve your writing skills. So, shall we go? Issues related to scientific publication, presentation, ethics, and impact. Albert Einstein once said, a theory is something nobody believes except the person who made it. An experiment is something everybody believes except the person who made it. So once you have done an experiment, it is up to you to make the world, entire world, know that you have done a study and these are your findings. So, why do I need to do research? How do I go about writing a research paper? So, these are my focal points in today's lecture. If it is not published, it doesn't exist. So, you have done a study, but you fail to publish it. So, nobody will know about it. So, people would think that it doesn't exist. And make sure that when you have done a study, you publish it at the earliest, because the similar study might have been done by many people, or might be many people might be doing it. So you have to be the first. So publish it at the earliest. An important item in the resume nowadays is the number of publications and which journals they have appeared. So nowadays you hear that your journals ideally should be published in a Scopus indexed publication, and that too preferably a Q1 publication, Q1 or Q2 or Q3 or Q4. There is also a saying, publish or perish. But in the present day parlance, it has been changed. It is often said that publish and flourish, because many people make a lot of money publishing articles. They take money and publish. So that is the saddest part of scientific writing. Now, you know this. In Dental Council of India, previously, they had two categories of publications. Category 1, journals indexed in PubMed, Medline, some specialty journals, international journals, so on and so forth. And category 2, journals published by the Indian Dental Association, some journals published by state dental associations, and so on. So earlier, there were only two categories, category 1, category 2, each category having 15 points and 5 points. Now this is the latest publication categories. Category 1 having 15 points, category 2 10 points, category 3 5 points. You know that scientific knowledge, the object of research is to extend human knowledge beyond what is already known. But an individual's knowledge enters the domain of science only after it is presented to others in such a fashion that they can independently judge its validity. So you need to offer your creative writing about the study, so that people would know about it. Some people may replicate your studies, some people may modify your studies. So make it available in the science domain so that others will be guided to do a research. You know that science works through publication. The way we do science has developed over the last 300 years. So publication in widely available form is crucial element. So new scientific ideas can be openly discussed, criticized, evaluated, tested, accepted, or rejected. So until you publish, you are not doing science. So that is an important statement. So unless you publish, that means you are not doing science. Sharing scientific knowledge. Science is a shared knowledge based on a common understanding of some aspect of the physical or social world. And there are various avenues by which you will be able to publish your study or your work. Conferences and conventions play an important role in establishing the reliability of scientific knowledge. So, all of you attend conferences. That's a good way of learning new researches going on. Research publications in peer reviewed journals, research results are privileged until they are published. So once you publish, anybody can do similar studies. Thesis. So you know that in dental colleges they do two types of research. One is called as a literature review research, that is at the end of which you have a library dissertation, and you also take up a research project at the end of which you produce a thesis. So, why do you publish? A paper is an organized description of hypotheses, data, and conclusions intended to instruct the reader. So, you intend to instruct the reader who is reading your paper. If your research does not generate papers, it might just as well not have been done. So make sure that if you are doing a research, a genuine study, make sure that after you complete the study, you publish it. But if you are a postgraduate student, you have some restrictions that until 6 months after passing, you will not be able to publish. There are some copyright regulations. So if it wasn't published, it wasn't done. So if you don't publish it, people think that you haven't done anything. So make sure that once you have successfully completed a study, you publish it. Now, scientific publication, as you know, is a team effort. Author sends the article to the journal, then the journal editor would send it for review to a reviewer who would comment about the acceptability of the paper in the journal. What are the author responsibilities? You need to know what are the responsibilities as an author you should account for. So, preparation and submission of manuscripts, you have to follow certain guidelines. Ensure work is new and original research. Never do a cook up work, do a genuine work. All authors listed on are aware of submission and agree with content and support submission. So, some journals demand that all the authors have to send a consent letter from their respective email IDs and agree that the manuscript can be examined by anonymous reviewers. You may not be knowing the reviewer. Provide copies of related work submitted or published elsewhere. Suppose a similar work has been published by somebody, you give the information to the editor. Suppose you have done similar work earlier, then also you need to inform the editor about it, that you have done such a study and these were your findings, and this particular study was different in such a manner that you have mentioned. Obtain copyright permission if figures or tables need to be reproduced. Suppose you are taking some figures from some other published material, you have to get the permission, and the permission also need to be submitted along with your paper. Then include proper affiliation. Suppose you are working in an institution, give affiliation to the place where you are working. So what happens once you send a paper to the editor? It is so first step is you submit the paper to the editor. So then the editor will do his own assessment. He may decide to reject or revise. He may send it to reviewers. Most often, the editor would send the paper to a reviewer. So you can have two types of reviewers. You can have national reviewers, and you can also have international reviewers. Then reviewers reply to the editor. So reviewers will not straight away communicate with you. He would give the assessment to the editor. So editor's decision happens next. He may accept it, reject it, or revise it. Then it comes back to you. You may be asked to revise if required, and you need to submit the revised version along with a letter. The letter will have the comments made by the reviewers. So accordingly, you have to revise it, and probably you may have to highlight where all you have revised it. Then you have to send it to the editor again. Then editor may revert to the reviewers again. So sometimes it can also happen. So it is the editor who always decides. Sometimes you may revise and you may send it, but ultimately the editor can reject it. So there is no assurance that once your paper is reviewed, it will be published. There is no guarantee to that. So editor's job is not a trivial task. It is very, very, very difficult. What are the qualities of a good paper? Many people ask me, how can the paper be improved? Ideally, it should have originality. So, what is new in your paper? That is very, very, very important. Content, is there enough? There should be sufficient material, but there should not be more. It should be just sufficient. Simplicity, can it be clearer, shorter? So never make the paper complicated, thinking that high-sounding words would make it acceptable. It is not so. And as you know, you do a study, so that is the experiment that you have done, and you work on a theory. So basically, a paper is a combination of theory and experiment. It is your work. There is no fixed formula for writing a paper. You need to develop your own style, but there are some useful guidelines. Once you know them, you can decide when to break them. So, what is publishable? Journals like to publish papers that are going to be widely read and useful to the readers. That is most important. It should be useful to the readers. It should be original and significant findings should be observed in your study. Next, it should be a well organized and well written paper. There should not be grammatical errors, spelling errors. It should be concise, and at the same time, it should also be complete in all respects. So, such papers are acceptable by an editor of any journal for that matter. What are the elements of an article? As you know, an article will have a title, authors' names, and institutional affiliations. Then there will be abstract. Sometimes it can be a block abstract or it can also be a structured abstract. A structured abstract will have the subtitles, the introduction, review of literature, methodology, discussion, all will be summarized. But you can also have a block abstract in which these components are not required. So you need to see the requirements of a journal. Accordingly, you have to prepare the abstract. Then below that, you need to write the keywords. Why you write keywords is if anybody wants to search an article, so it will be, if they type this particular article, it will pop up in the Google so that your article will have wide readership. Next, introduction, you need to write the introduction, an attractive introduction, so that people will be tempted to go through the entire paper. Methods, experimental details, you need to mention in detail. Results, discussion, conclusions, acknowledgements. Suppose your study was financed by somebody, you need to acknowledge. Suppose somebody has substantially contributed in carrying out your study, you have to mention that. Suppose you might have done the study in a laboratory, so you should mention that you are thankful to the particular laboratory for having provided or having extended the services for you to do the study. So give acknowledgements at the end. So if it is a fish, If you imagine a fish, these are the contents of your paper: title, abstract, introduction, methods, results, discussion, conclusions, and acknowledgement. And at the end, you need to write the references. And if it's a jigsaw puzzle, it will be like this: abstract, introduction, literature review, methods, results, discussion, conclusion. If it is an hourglass, it is like this. So the introduction and the discussion will occupy the major part, and in the middle comes the methods and results. Title, authors' names, institutional affiliations. Your paper should begin with a title that describes the contents of the paper. So you have to be very careful in choosing the title. It should be a catchy title so that the editor will pick up your article from a number of papers being received by the editor on a day-to-day basis. Use descriptive words that you would associate strongly with the content of your paper. Title should be centered at the top of page 1. Make sure that it should be centered. So it should not be, so you have to justify the, it should be in the midline, it should be in the middle of the paper. It should never go to the side, left side or right side. The title is not underlined or italicized. Make sure that when you send a paper for publication, never underline it or italicize the, the title. Title should represent the content of the paper. Avoid using an excellent study, a fantastic study, study, investigation, novel, facile, symbol, etc. in the title. Avoid this kind of superlatives in your title. The author's names. The primary author should be first, followed by the other authors. If you have more than one author, you have to mention everybody's name. And institutional affiliations are double spaced from and centered below the title. Some articles would want you to write the authors separately, but you need to follow the guidelines of individual journals so that accordingly you can write. So when more than two authors, the names are separated by commas, except for the last, which is separated from the previous name by the word and. If there are two authors, you write a first name and the second author. If you have more than two, you put a comma, write the second name, and put and. Don't put a comma before and the third author's name. Now, how do you prepare an abstract? It is the summary of the article. As you know, abstract means it's a summary. It is a gist. So should not be more than 150 words. Some journals may tell you can have up to 250. Suppose if they don't mention 250 words, stick to 150 words. It should not be more than that. It acts as an advertisement of the article. Many times, what happens is readers would read only the abstract. So make it as attractive as possible, and the main results must be mentioned in the abstract. Many people think that the results need not be mentioned, but but always mention the results so that it will be a hook, so that the readers will be willing to read further your article. Abstract should be concise, briefly indicate the problem, methods, results, and conclusions in a simple text that general audience can understand and appreciate your work. Okay, start out the abstract by telling exactly what you did and how you did it. Focus on the rationale and ideas of the study and why it is important in the first two sentences. So you have to make sure that the study should be highlighted in the first two sentences. So that makes the reader read uh, more, that your entire article will be read by the readers. Introduction. Explain why your paper is interesting. It should set up problem and some literature review. It should have, some people think that literature review should not be mentioned in the introduction. One or two literature review can be mentioned in the introduction, not more than that. The last part of the introduction should give a very brief idea, not more than a paragraph, about what is discovered in the paper. So, your introduction can be one para or three paragraph, one paragraph or up to three, but not more than that. Introduction to a research paper, start off with a hook. So hook is a bait that you are throwing at the readers, so that it would make the paper interesting to read further. Include any key information you think your reader will need to know in order to understand your topic. Finish with your thesis statement and a roadmap of what your body paragraphs will be about. Methods, explain how you did what you did. Should not be more than 2 to 4 paragraphs. Never write more. It should not be, you have you if you remember the hourglass, the methods come in the middle. So don't stretch it further and further. Methods. This sections provides the methods and procedures used in a research study or experiment. You should provide, this is also called as methodology. Your study design, where you did the study, what was your sample size, how you did it, how you went about, what are the equipments that you used, who were the participants, what are the variables and actions taken by the participants. The method section should provide enough information to allow other researchers to replicate your study, because somebody may replicate the study, some people may take it up as a thesis topic. So all these are possible. So they would like to know how you, the methodology of your study in detail. Okay, this is a refresher slide. Whenever you make a presentation, use some refresher slides so that it will break the monotony. Okay, results and discussion. This section should introduce the results and then discuss what they mean, why they are, and what consequences they have. So, this section contains the meat of the paper and should cover any details not already explained in the methods section. So, make sure that this is written well. Summary. This section consists of 1 to 3 paragraphs, not more than that. It summarizes what your paper was all about. The main point of the paper should be stated or restated here. Now, figures. So many people are confused what should be the quality of the paper and how you can select an image. So creating figures for publication is a non-trivial task. It is not a simple task. So for black and white figures, avoid bitmapped figures. Example, GIF. GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format. JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group, BMP or bitmap image, and use PostScript, PDF or vector graphics. So for black and white, always use script, PDF, or vector graphics. For color photographs, you can, some journals prefer high resolution bitmapped files or a TIF files, tagged image file format files. So you have to see the requirement of individual journals. So accordingly, you need to provide the figures. Now, make sure you have a resolution of at least 300 dpi. DPI stands for dots per inch. Submit figures in their intended publication size. So don't give a full page picture, thinking that your journal editor would reduce it. Always provide the photographs or any other figures in such a way that you want how it should appear in the paper. Do not make page filling figures and assume that the editor is going to do it. Avoid shading in black and white figures. Avoid very tiny symbols or fonts which are not readable. Use big symbols or fonts which are not readable.
So we are losing your voice.
All right. Do you hear me?
Sir,
use the tiny
sir,
dashes in the
sir, can you hear
line
me?
to summarize, not hard to see or read or understand. If you want any information, is
Sir,
it fine now?
and also it's breaking up. Can you turn off
Uh,
your camera? There's a camera sign down. Can you just click on it and turn it off?
is it fine now?
So it's breaking up a little bit. If you can turn off your camera, it will be better. Can you see the camera icon?
Is it fine now? Is
Try, sir, but it's
it
basically
okay?
very weak.
I
Okay, sir,
can
go
hear
on.
you.
Okay, sir, go on.
Is it fine?
For the moment, it's okay, sir. Hello.
Is it fine now?
Sir, please turn off your camera.
Is it okay? Okay. Okay. Uh, I think that is cover your. Okay. Okay. Shall I go ahead?
The
Hello.
camera
Can I go ahead?
icon is, sir, the camera icon is exactly in the same band from where you did the share.
Turn off
It
my
is next to the
camera.
share screen.
Uh, I,
Okay, okay. Yes, continue, sir. We'll see now.
uh, okay. 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 Huh? Okay, if anybody is interested to know more about how to choose figures, I have provided a link. You can follow that and you will get information about how to share figures. Now, figures should be checked carefully before you submit. Check font size, axis label, and identification of individual traces. Make sure that you don't make any mistakes. Label them correctly. Avoid meaningless numbers. So, if you have given a reference in the text, it should match with the figure that you have submitted, and the figures should have clarity. Move additional repetitive figures to supporting information. Suppose you want to add more papers for the editor's convenience to review your paper, you can always provide extra pictures. Preparing a paper, there are some general suggestions throughout the paper. Following general rules should be helpful. Be concise, make it as brief as possible, be correct, be clear. There should be clarity in your paper, and be relevant. Your paper should be relevant. Technical points: introduce all acronyms. Suppose you are using any technical words. First time you are writing, you should give the expansion. So if it is a short form, don't use short forms in the title, and don't use short forms in the article. First time you should expand, second time you can have uh, abbreviations. Avoid use of acronyms in title. So never use acronyms in titles. The Latin phrase at all is short for not have a period after it. So many people make that mistake. So never put a full stop after it. You should put a full stop after al if you wish to. So many people make this kind of mistakes. So avoid that. Try to avoid repeating a word, phrase, or pair of sentences. Don't use the same sentence. So many people make that mistake. So never do that. Some useful definitions. There is something called a scientific misconduct. So, for fabrication of data, for deviate from those that are commonly accepted within the scientific community for proposing, conducting, or reporting research. If you want to know more about scientific misconduct, I have given the reference here, so you can get more information about scientific misconduct from the website that is given below. Now, there is something called as plagiarism. So, plagiarism is credit. There is something called as self plagiarism. You have published one paper and you keep on copying and prepare another paper. So, both types of plagiarism are considered to be unacceptable. So, if you want to know more about plagiarism, you can refer the website that is given at the bottom. Other types similar study previously, always you submit, you mentioned that done such a study earlier. Submission of research findings author has under consideration or in press, that is scientific misconduct. Unrevealed conflicts of interest that could affect the interpretation of the findings. Suppose your study was financed by some pharmaceutical company. You have to mention that. That is a conflict of interest. You might have given a negative study report. So, if you have done that, mention that in the conflict of interest. Otherwise, whenever you submit a paper, you have to submit something called as no conflict of interest. Then, misrepresentation of research findings, use of selective or fraudulent data to support a hypothesis, that is also an ethical violation. Sooner or later, ethical violations get exposed. So, be careful, don't be a victim of that. How journals detect and handle problem papers. Suppose some unethical issues have been noticed, what do the journals do? Information received from reviewers or other editors, because this information sometimes they get it from other editors, so they may then literature search for related papers by the author. See, now it is possible to check. You have plagiarism check softwares. It is easy to find out. Then withdrawal of a paper from a publication, they may withdraw your paper, banning the author from publication for 3 to 5 years. For less serious cases, placing the author on a watch list. So next time when you send a paper, they would be careful. So you need to be considering always ethical facts when you send a paper. Now, the summary is scientific ethics is an integral part of graduate research. So, statements, figures, and tables, if you are reproducing, it should be given citation. So, published work is protected by copyright law, as you know. Now, guidelines for authors and scientists. So, ethical guidelines to publication of chemical research. There are various websites where you can get further information about guidelines for authors and scientists. So, I have given various websites which give information pertaining to that. Now, scientific publication is a team effort, which I told you earlier. You submit it to the editor, editor sends it to the reviewer, reviewer sends it back to the editor, editor he gets back to you through email. How do you choose which journal to submit? So you have to consider the impact factors, the the reviewers, readership, turnaround time. Some journals take 1 month, some journals take 2 months, some journals can take up to 6 months. That is the turnaround time until you send the paper till you get a decision about publication of your paper. Now, there are different journals. As you know, institutional, college, hospital level journals are available. University level journals are available. State level, regional journals are available. National journals are available. The so-called international journals are available. Now, everybody calls their journals as international journals. Journals, national journals with wide international circulation is available. International journals are available, and online journals are available. How to select the journal? So you have to search, is it peer reviewed journal? what is the subject area of the journal? Is it aimed at the audience you want to write for? Because a dental paper you will not send to a gynecology journal. So that is quite understandable. So what is the impact factor of the journal assigned by Thomson Reuters? Is it indexed? That is most important. So nowadays, NAC insists on Scopus indexed publications. So DCI insists on PubMed or certain categories of publications. So when you send the paper, you need to be careful in choosing the journal. Then PubMed, certain other indexing systems, there are various other indexing systems, Scopus, OEN, JGate, Excerpta, Medica, Embase, Academic Index. Several indexing agencies are available. So you have to check whether your journal that you are selecting is fitting into any of these. So PubMed, you can always go to, this is a site, you can go there and you can search whether the particular journal is PubMed indexed. Now, selecting suitable journal, open access journal, it is relatively easy to publish in open access journals. It will have a wider readership. So, why do you publish in open access journals? Your article will obtain more citations. You own the copyright to your article. Your article will be peer reviewed and published very fast. So, if you send to an open access journal, it gets published possibly within 1 month. All interested readers can read, download, and or print open access articles at no cost. Your article can be read by potentially millions of readers, which is incomparable to publishing in a traditional subscription journal, because the readership will be restricted. Open access journals are free to view, and you know that there is a monopoly by Elsevier, because 70% of all the medical dental journals are published by Elsevier, so they have the monopoly. Scopus belongs to them, so uh, they have a monopoly over the publication business. Now, revision request. Suppose you get a revision request, what will you do? So, read the reviewer's comment carefully. Don't be in a hurry to send back half cooked paper. The reviewers and editors spend a lot of time making suggestions to improve your paper. Revision is an opportunity to improve your paper. Often, misuse of scientific context or bad presentation leads to misunderstanding of the statement made in the text. So, you need to clarify that. Use supporting information to include figures, tables, derivations, movies, photographs, methods, and techniques in case additional information is required. So, a request for revision doesn't mean that your paper will be accepted by the journal. So, there is no guarantee that after all the exercise, your paper will be published. So, what to do when a paper gets rejected? Do not get discouraged. Read editorial comments and discuss with the advisor, students, collaborators. Find out how you can make this study stronger and acceptable for publication. So do not just turn around and submit the paper to another journal. So always spend time and revise the paper. Carry out additional experiments in case that is required so that you can improve the paper. Rejected papers can be resubmitted if and only the concerns of the reviewers are adequately addressed and new results are included. If you have questions, please feel free to contact the editorial office. You can always send an email to the editor to clarify your doubt. There is absolutely no harm in that. What to avoid? Data without scientific discussion, application of data or reviews of the literature are not sufficient. You need to submit sufficient review of literature. Routine synthesis and characterization of studies should be avoided. Use of the phrase novel, first time, excellent study, superior study, all these superlatives you should avoid in the title. To do even better, the authors should make every effort to make a good presentation with proper usage of English grammar. Make sure that your article doesn't have any grammatical errors. grammatical or spelling errors. I know that English is not your native language, but make sure that your paper is thoroughly checked by an expert in English. Reviewers do not wish to review papers that are not readable, so badly written papers are often recommended as reject by the reviewers. So there is ACS Publication Office helps to edit the language for accepted manuscripts to be reviewed. If it is very badly written, they will of an incredibly dull paper. Very badly focus is avoided. Avoid do not indicate any potential implications. Leave out illustrations. Too much effort to draw a sensible drawing. Omit necessary steps of reasoning. Use abbreviations and technical terms that only specialists in the field can understand. Make it sound too serious with no significant discussion. Focus only on statistics without text. Support every statement with a reference. You don't have to support every statement with a reference. My take home message is scientific publication or paper writing is an art. Either you are born with the talents to write a paper, or you can always develop it by hard work, perseverance, patience, learning from others, or by simply getting multiple rejections. So, from multiple rejections, you learn how to write a good paper. So, thank you for your patient listening, and thank you to Dr. Mandana who made it possible. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take it.
Sir, now you can turn on your camera and possibly you can stop sharing your screen so that you can see here.
Yeah, yeah.
If you can put on your camera now. Yeah, okay. Right. Yes. So publications are really very difficult sometimes. This was a very interesting and it was interesting for brushing up and
This camera is
improving
on.
presentation. So your camera is on, yes. So does anyone have any questions? Our regular thing. Please put it into the chat so we can address it. And yes,
Yeah, it's on.
yes, your camera is on. I think now you can see it, sir. If you stop share that, if you close the
One additional
PowerPoint.
information, if anybody would like to know about impact factor, there is something called as impact factor. So, what is impact factor? So, suppose, uh, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yes. So there is something called as impact factor. So you need to select a journal which is having a high impact factor. So now this year is 2025. So impact factor is calculated based on the number of times, I mean, the previous 2 years. So that means the impact factor for 2025 is calculated by using the data from 2024 and 2023. So an article is considered how many times it is cited by others divided by the total number of citable articles published in that journal in the previous 2 years. That is how impact factor is calculated.
Yes. So I think one of the things I don't know, I'm sure your
So
opinion
your
on it.
impact factor of 2025 would reflect how many times your article
So your voice
uh,
is again breaking up.
was by other sources. I hope it is clear.
So your voice
Anybody
is
has
breaking
any
up.
doubt? Then there is a term called H-index. So what is H-index? Suppose you have H-index 20. That means at least 20 of your papers got at least 20 citations. So that is the H-index. So if you
So your voice is breaking up. Okay, I can see that we are not going to have much luck with this. So
can
let
you
me see.
hear?
Son, no questions, and I think your voice is breaking up quite a bit. Uh, so let me just share your certificate and say thank you, sir. Oh, we lost, sir. Okay, in the meanwhile, let me remind all of you to please join us for our anniversary celebrations on the 28th at 5:30 in the evening Indian Standard Time. Sir,
Connection is lost.
sir, you're back
Is
now.
the connection lost? No.
Sir, now you're
Ah,
back.
okay, okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think we will call it a day
Anybody has
because
any?
anyway, no questions, sir.
Ah,
And your voice keeps breaking, so yes, I think. Sir, can you see the certificate? Thank you so much, sir.
I can see you. Can you send it in WhatsApp as well?
Yes, sir. I will send it in WhatsApp. I'll send you the PDF also.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, yes.
And I'm sorry I extended the time.
No, it's okay, sir. No worries.
Okay.
Anyway, I think because of the voice disturbance, not really many questions. So,
Ah,
yeah, we'll call it an evening. And thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
hmm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So it was not clear towards the end, or is it in the middle?
So, in between, also, we had the breakdown a few times.
But at least
Yeah.
they could see the slides.
Yeah, slides could be seen, yes, but your voice was breaking up in a few
Okay,
places. Yes.
okay, 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 okay,
Tomorrow I will trim the video and try and remove those bits out. Yes.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being with us. And let me also welcome Dr. Divina, who just joined our membership. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. See you all. I do hope you will definitely join us day after for our anniversary celebration. We are going to be 5 years old. Yes. Take care, everyone, and see you soon. Bye,
Okay.
sir.
Bye, bye.